please be mine. Be my audience for this Valentine's Day special. February is the season for love, and what better way to celebrate than to take a look back at the dating game shows of the past that we loved, or perhaps forgotten about. So here we go with top 10 excellent dating game shows. Do like and subscribe to this channel if you love television nostalgia videos such as this one, and leave amazing comments because just a little bit of your feedback, it goes a long way. There is one major rule here: I am not considering dating reality shows. These are a very different kind of show that will be looked at in another list in the future. These shows are episodics that paired new people together in each episode. Alright, rules out of the way, let's do it. Number 10. Date My Mom. Well, this one is an interesting premise to kick things off with. Date My Mom is something I'm very glad never caught on in real life. Very glad. An 18 to 24-year-old goes on 3 separate dates in this show with 3 moms who try to convince them to pick their son or daughter to date. Only the mother is involved with the date. The mother then tells their child how the date went, relying fully on the mother to give the best advice. A winner is then selected at the end of the show. But sadly, the dates never ended up with the contestant falling in love with the mom. Stifler would not approve of that. And if you don't get that reference, we can't be friends. Number 9. The Fifth Wheel. This unique show, which admittedly could be a little steamier than some of the others on this list, was all about what happens when you're on a double date and an odd number shows up. On this show, 2 men and 2 women would get to know each other before a 5th person would come in and change the entire dynamic of the situation. At the end, each person would vote on who they wanted, and if there was a match, the connection was made. The show was entertaining enough, but just like actually being on a 5-person date, things could get really confusing if you don't pay a whole lot of attention. Number 8. Buzz. Essentially televised speed dating with elements of the Gong Show, Buzz was a rather revolutionary dating program for its time on the air between 1996 and 1997. On this show, the contestant meets 4 potential suitors and is given 2 minutes to ask them the tough questions. She will then buzz out those that she didn't like and ring the bell for those who gave the right answer. The show was a little confusing and some rules felt made up on the spot, but it was well hosted by Annie Wood, and a little retooling could possibly lend it to a reboot one day. Number 7. Shipmates. All aboard! On this show, contestants go on a blind date. At sea. The 2 contestants are paired up on a Carnival cruise ship, and they enjoy their time together while later providing commentary about the trip. Definitely an intriguing idea for a show, and depending on how well the date goes, could give a whole new meaning to the term fun ship. Number 6. Eliminate. One of the more challenging ideas on this list, Eliminate is essentially survival of the fittest, and in some cases, literally. A single person begins the night with 4 dates, and as the show progresses, 1 date is eliminated at a time until the winner remains. Usually the first round is a simple meeting in a public place, followed by dancing, fun activities, and then ending up in a nightclub or spa where things start to get a little hotter. As someone who actually took 3 girls to prom, this was kind of a fun little show that I could almost relate to. And yes, I did actually take 3 girls to prom. Their prom. Number 5. Singled Out. The original series that premiered in the much better days of MTV, Singled Out was easily one of the most comedic of the dating shows of this era. On this program, which is somewhat similar to the kids' game of Guess Who, a picker is brought on stage in front of 50 potential suitors. Through a rather entertaining process of elimination, 1 is left. Seriously, if you are in your late 30s to early 40s, how can you not feel a major rush of nostalgia while watching this clip? Number 4. Baggage. What secrets do you have? Mine? I secretly make YouTube videos about TV and retail nostalgia. My other secret is I never saw the show until researching this video. In Baggage, the contestant faces 3 single potentials with pieces of personal baggage that grow more substantial by the case. Based on whatever the secrets are, the contestant will make their pick. Of course, when it comes to skeletons in the closet, who better than Jerry Springer to host a show of this nature? Number 3. Blind Date. What happens when you combine the thrill of a first date, cameras, and pop-up text into one show? You get my personal favorite, Blind Date. Here, cameras follow around two people on a blind date while text bubbles providing hilarious commentary pop up, making the date infinitely more interesting than just watching the two of them get to know each other. Some of the dates were phenomenal successes, and some of them were busts. And then there was at least one time I remember they had to shut the cameras off. I think Ron Burgundy said it best.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
Number 2. Love Connection. It's hard to imagine syndicated TV of any variety in the 1980s and early 90s without Love Connection. Chuck Woolery hosted this program where a single person would be paired up with a partner of their choice. They went on a date and talked about it with the audience. The audience, who, by the way, got to vote for their best choice, whatever it was worth. If the date worked, they were brought together on stage. If it didn't, they stayed backstage, and that was that. According to Woolery, the show resulted in 29 marriages, 8 engagements, and 15 children. Not terrible considering the nature of the program. Sure, it's been revived a few times, but you can't beat the original. I mean, come on. And the number 1 dating game show, what else? The Dating Game. I mean, it's the namesake of the video. What else could it possibly be? The one that really started it all, an attractive single person would interview 3 single suitors and then picking the one that they liked the most. It was simple, but wildly effective. Of course, if it wasn't for the dating game, we wouldn't have the truth or date premise of the classic film Mallrats, which, of course, is the basis for the entire story of the movie. Of course, if it wasn't for Mallrats, we would also be giving our loved ones chocolate-covered pretzels for Valentine's Day. And that's forever ruined. Thanks, Kev.